Kitabu cha Dr. Reginald Abraham Mengi kitwacho I Can, I Must, I Will sasa kinapatikana kwenye maduka ya kuuza vitabu yafuatayo: Dar es Salaam, A Novel Idea, Slipway Msasani, Yacht Club Road, Msasani Peninsula, The Book Cave, Mbezi Rainbow, Social Club, Ara Museum Offices, Ikunda Bookshop, Kariakoo mtaa wa Mhunda, House of Wisdom, Mezzanine nambari 22, NHC House, Samora Avenue, Dar es Salaam, MacBooks and Brains, Mlimani City Mall, duka nambari 44, Dar es Salaam, TPH Books, barabara ya Samora, Elite Bookstore, Mbezi njia panda Goba, Mlimani Bookshop, Kariakoo mtaa wa Sikukuu na Lindi. Timiza malengo, Ubungo Kona, Chuo Kikuu. Bookmart Online Shop, Instagram, Bookmart TZ, Twitter, Bookmart1. Jamani Investment Limited, Nyerere Road, Airport Terminal 2, Shinyanga. Kahama Bookshop Center, mtaa wa Lumerezi. Arusha, Kase Bookstore, mtaa wa Sekei. A Novel Idea, TFA Center, Arusha, Tanzania. Dodoma, Lugarawa Bookshop, Dodoma mjini, barabara ya 8. Moshi, Ape Bookshop, Moshi mjini. Christian Bookshop, Moshi mjini.
Wahi nakala yako sasa kwenye duka lolote lililopo karibu nawe.
News tonight. 13 people claim to have died in an accident in Mara. Museveni directs re-registration of boats. Tanzania and 8 other countries to participate in African Kabaddi Championships. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's get started with the national news. Over 13 people have died in a bad accident involving 2 passenger buses which make their trips from Musoma and Tarime to Mara got into a head-on collision and then caught on fire in Komaswa village in between Tarime and Roya districts. Tarime and Roya Special Zone Police Commander ACP Henry Mwaibambe said that the accident where it happened, the cause has yet to be determined. 4 people were injured and both drivers lost their lives. On his part, the chairman of the Defense and Safety Committee, who is also the District Commissioner of Tarime, Glorious Luoga, while at the scene, has asked people to be calm as legal organs investigate the cause of the accident. Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa has today launched a system which provides electronic visas as well as residential permits and called upon all those who are given those permits to follow the law and engage in activities which are allowed under the terms of their permits and not otherwise. Prime Minister Majaliwa made those remarks when he was launching a system to provide electronic visas and residential permits. These are e-visas and e-residential permits at the Julius Nyerere International Conference Center in Dar es Salaam. Parents in Ruangwa District, Nambilanje and Narungombe wards have said that so as to combat childhood pregnancies and to avoid legal repercussions, they have been forced to place birth control implants on a primary school and secondary school students so they can finish schools with an obstetrician and a gynecologist special, stating that the use of the contraceptive does cause negative effects at that age. Half-year reports 2017 and 2018 show that 20 primary and secondary school students have stopped schooling due to pregnancy.
We are pleading to the government as female students at health centers. When they provide contraceptives, they should identify who deserves to be given the services. Students are not supposed to be given contraceptives because we are not supposed to be engaged in sexual activities. Maybe after we have completed schools and we have our own families, because the contraceptives are affecting many students. Their monthly menstruation period is not stable. They stay at home in longer period than being at school. These contraceptives will legalize sexual activities at a younger age, which will have direct impact to their education. As a medical practitioner, I want to find out first on the reason of providing contraceptives to young girls, because we normally provide contraceptives as medication when a student is going through certain conditions, but not become a government system of providing these medicines. We love our students. We want them to continue respecting themselves, to be aware of themselves, and stay away from early sexual activities.
The President of Tanzania, Dr. John Pombe Magufuli, has today joined bishops, priests and Tanzanian Catholics of the Catholic Church to pay the last respects to the former Bishop of Mbeya, Shamu Catholic Diocese, Evaristo Chengula, who died on November 21st of this year at the Jakaya Kikwete Heart Institute in Dar es Salaam. Bishop Chengula had been at the Heart Institute receiving medical treatment before he passed away. The Requiem Mass to say farewell to the late bishop, that was overseen by the senior bishop, Jude Thaddeus Ruwaichi, took place at the Immaculate Saint Catholic Church, which is located at the headquarters of the Council of Bishops in Kurasini, Dar es Salaam. The Mass was also attended by the retired President of the Third Phase Government, Benjamin William Mkapa, and his wife, Mama Anna Mkapa.
Amekuwa mkweli wa kuhubiri injili kwa ukweli.
The late Bishop Chengula has preached the Bible. He was an honest man. He preached the Holy Bible honestly. He never stammered on speaking the truth. Recently, actually this month, he spoke on his mind about homosexuality publicly. Very few religious leaders can stand and reject the menace on public and even speak about the true revelations found in the Holy Bible. Let us all continue praying for the bishop. I will bear witness that his work of preaching the Bible has been successful. We have all been born in this world, and we shall all live. Nobody will live forever. I would like to take this opportunity to send my condolences to the church, the residents of Mbeya Diocese, and all Christians. Let us pray to God that may the soul of Bishop Chengula rest in eternal peace.
Akaipumzishe roho ya marehemu Askofu Erasto Chengula mahali pema peponi.
Bus drivers in Njombe have striked and stopped transport services in the area with the aim of forcing the government to fulfill its promise to remove bajajis from Njombe-Songea main road, claiming that not doing so continues to cause them losses. Hundreds of residents of Butiama village in Mara region have come out en masse for dental treatment that is being provided for free from Tanzania Dental Association as part of honoring the father of the nation, the late Julius Kambarage Nyerere. More than 370 dependents have been paid over 18 billion shillings of their pensions since the government began to use the new pensions fund law nationally in August of this year, when the were combined to become National Social Security Fund, NSSF, and Public Service Social Security Fund, PSSF. Over 12,200 villages in the country poverty if they use the economic opportunities available, including electricity, to start small production industries and aid in pushing the country to become a middle-income economy. Investigations into the charges of incitement which are facing the MP for Kigoma Urban, Zito Kabwe, have been completed at Kisutu Resident Magistrate Court. The preliminary arguments as to why Zito is being charged with incitement are expected to be read out to him on December 13th of this year before the Chief Resident Magistrate Huruma Shaidi. The senior state prosecutor, Mtelemwa Kishenyi, explained to the magistrates that investigations into the case have been completed and he is requesting for a date when he can read the early arguments as to why Zito is being charged with incitement. Magistrate Shaidi has adjourned the case to December 13th of 2018, which is when early arguments will be made. In this case, Zito Kabwe, Kigoma Urban MP, is being charged with 3 charges of incitement, which he allegedly committed on October 28th during a press conference that took place at the headquarters of ACT Wazalendo opposition party. In addition, on October 28th of 2018, at the same press conference in Kijitonyama, Kinondoni, Kabwe also allegedly made insightful utterances. Zito Kabwe is currently out on bail. A child who was allegedly being taken care of by baboons for several years before being rescued again by human beings has started to display a type of behavior which is different from charity center, which brings up from the behavior which he exhibited when he was received by a charity center, which brings up street children that is located in Mwanza. All this comes after the child's former guardian, the baboon, was shot to death in Bukombe District Forest Gator region. The life of the child, Mabula Bukombe, who is believed to have been taken care of by the baboon for around 2 years, although some accounts say it was for 5 years after being thrown into the forest as a baby, is a life story which is saddening and seems like a work of fiction.
How come a chimpanzee can be this generous to raise a baby, unlike us human beings, believing that we have stable mind and ability to raise families? We have failed to take care of this poor child. Allegedly, this child is believed to have been abandoned by his mother at the garbage area, and later on a chimpanzee went to search for food at that particular area and found the baby, whom it took and stayed with the baby for 2 years without harming the baby. After the situation being discovered by the government, a rescue team was sent to rescue the baby and took the child to children's centers.
Na inaonekana ili wamuokoe mtoto ilibidi tulivyopata taarifa kwamba walimuua yule nyani.
For the game rangers to rescue the child, they had to kill the animal because the operation exercise couldn't have been easy. After rescuing the baby, they took the child to hospital in Geita and took several tests, and results showed that the baby had malaria and malnutrition, where later on they took the baby for organizations that will help raising the child. Every day, we used to get complaints about him. Whenever he played with his fellow children, he could fall on them. His games were quite dangerous, like beating others with stones. We kept on wondering why he does that while he is older than the rest of the children. He is quite violent. We decided perhaps we should send him to a boys' center at Upendo Daima, where they receive children from 7 to 14 years.
We apologize for that slight confusion caused by a technical problem, but after this is the end of national news. International news follows next.
Wizara ya Viwanda, Biashara na Uwekezaji kupitia Mamlaka ya Maendeleo ya Biashara Tanzania TanTrade inawakaribisha wamiliki wa viwanda vidogo, vya kati na vikubwa kushiriki maonesho ya 3 ya bidhaa za viwanda Tanzania kuanzia tarehe 5 hadi 9 Disemba 2018 katika uwanja wa maonesho Mwalimu JK Nyerere, barabara ya Kilwa, Dar es Salaam. Lengo la maonesho haya ni kujenga jukwaa la wadau wa sekta ya viwanda na biashara kujadiliana, kubadilishana uzoefu na kutangaza fursa zilizopo katika sekta hizi. Aidha, maonesho haya yatatoa fursa na hamasa kwa Watanzania kutumia bidhaa na huduma zinazozalishwa na viwanda vilivyopo nchini. Tafadhali thibitisha ushiriki wako kwa kupakua fomu kwenye tovuti www.tantrade.go.tz. Kwa maelezo zaidi, piga simu namba 0715484452 au 0754265822. Hakuna kiingilio kwa watembeleaji. Tanzania, sasa tunajenga viwanda.
And in international news, President Yoweri Museveni of Uganda has directed for electronic re-registration of all boats on Lake Victoria. This directive comes as Uganda mourns the deaths of over 30 of their loved ones who died after a luxury cruise boat carrying party revelers capsized on Lake Victoria.
All boats are supposed to be registered and inspected. This boat has not been registered and it has not been inspected.
Youth from Lucha Group in Democratic Republic of Congo have begun a house-to-house campaign to motivate people and urge them not to take bribes and elect leaders who are no good for change in the country.
Tutaingia nyumba kwa nyumba, tutapita ndani ya masoko, ndani ya kila.
We will go in every house, market, and in every ward in Goma and all corners of Democratic Republic of Congo, so that we tell every citizen not to receive bribes or anything that will distract their focus in electing leaders that will be diligent in serving citizens of this country. They should not elect leaders who will give them salt, t-shirts, and other silly stuff, but rather elect leaders that will bring change in DRC.
And that is all for international news, but do stay with us. We'll be back with business news after this break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand. You must quickly think, how cost effective are you going to be?
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news. African countries have been required to have the same laws that oversee competition, which will ensure goods and services provided in the countries are of the required quality to benefit consumers.
I am calling upon all institutions and organizations in Dar es Salaam to open accounts with DCB Bank, as well as citizens to buy shares. As Ubungo MP, I am inviting residents of Ubungo and other parts of Dar es Salaam to come and buy shares just like me. I have shown example by buying shares of DCB Bank today because it is a big bank which has expanded its branches outside Dar es Salaam region.
Na kiwango cha chini cha kununua hisa.
The lowest price of buying shares is 25,000 shillings. I believe that Tanzanians, it is about time now we develop the culture of investing our money.
Dar es Salaam City Mayor Isaiah Mwita has called on residents and various organizations to purchase shares of Dar es Salaam Commercial Bank, DCB, so that the bank can meet its targets, including giving out more affordable loans. The Minister of Agriculture has directed the National Agricultural Council to increase its efforts to enable farmers to engage in business farming by increasing value to crops.
And enhance value of local produce.
Na nyinyi mmeshiriki kikamilifu kuhakikisha hiyo benki imeanzishwa. Kweli imeanza. Sera ya viwanda itafanikiwa sana kama tunaweza
The industrial policy will be successful if we will manage to connect it with agriculture, with two major reasons. One, industrial raw materials will be attained from farming activities, and customers of industrial produce are again farmers. Thus, if the farmers will be supported and earn extra income, they shall make industrial produce to get market.
That is it for business news. Sports news follows next.
As a matter of fact,
Hi, my name is Kotaro Tokuda.
What's up? My name is Sean Garnier.
I'm John Barnes from Liverpool Football Club. The hip hop, a hip it, the hip it, the hip hop. You don't stop the rockin' to the bang bang boogie. Say up, jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what you hear?
I'm watching Sports Gazette.
I'm watching Sport Gazette.
I'm here watching Sports Gazette
with Sebastian.
With Sebastian. Peace out.
Yes! And you can also watch Sports Gazette for highlights and interviews regarding sports. Do not miss Sports Gazette every Wednesday at 7 p.m. only on Capital Television.
And in sports news, 8 countries, including Tanzania, will participate in the African Kabaddi Championships, scheduled to take place for the first time from December 1st to 4th in Kenya.
And the number of boys, we are 13, and the number of girls, we also 13. We need many things now, but we try to traveling on Friday morning up to Nairobi. The African Kabaddi Cup will consist of many countries: Tanzania, Kenya, Mauritius, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Zimbabwe, Missouri, and others. So we asking stakeholder to help our team and tickets, return by bus tickets to Nairobi and come back here in Tanzania, and some for players.
The Taifa Cup basketball competition, which was scheduled to take place from December 1st to December 9th, has been pushed to December 15th, taking place until December 22nd in Simiyu.
We expect to have 26 regions that will participate in this competition. So the competition has interested more people than ever in the history of basketball in Tanzania. Also, more than half of the participants will bring women's teams, so that's a huge success. During the Taifa Cup competition, we will also have our TBF general meeting. We will use the meeting to discuss our constitution so that it can improve the way we work in developing the sport.
River Plate hooligans, described as the mafia of Argentine soccer, were behind the attack on Boca Juniors before the Copa Libertadores final second leg, says the mayor of Buenos Aires.
Saturday's game was delayed by 24 hours, then postponed, with its rescheduling set to be discussed on Tuesday. Several Boca players were injured when the windows on the bus were broken on the way to River's Estadio Monumental. Buenos Aires Mayor Horacio Rodriguez Larreta said it was a revenge attack. He said the incident occurred a day after police raided the house of a leader of the Barra Brava, the powerful and violent wing of River's hardcore support.
The Los Angeles Lakers showed up for the first quarter but vanished for the remaining three as they lost for the second time in 8 days to the Orlando Magic, 108-104 on Sunday afternoon at the Staples Center.
Nikola Vucevic cast a spell over the Lakers' defense for second straight time, scoring 31 points with 15 rebounds and 7 assists in the victory. He's just had our numbers this year, said LeBron James of Vucevic. That's all you can say. He's a very good player that does it both on the inside and outside. He's just had our numbers. Los Angeles fell in Orlando last week, 117-130, in one of their worst performances of the season. Similar to this morning, the Lakers came out hot and held a 31-15 advantage after one quarter. However, the next three quarters were a defensive disaster as the Magic put the Lakers in a trance for the final three frames, scoring 105 points. It was deja vu all over again in the morning as the Lakers jumped out to a 29-19 first quarter lead before the defense disappeared again, the remainder of the way.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. Thank you for watching and have a good night.